Alright, hi guys. This is going to be a short video on art brushes and what to stay away from and what to look out for. Give you some tips when you're purchasing a brush when you go into the art store. And okay, another thing is get yourself a good book on brushes. Get yourself familiar with brushes, of how they're made and different types. That way you're familiar with what'll be good, what type of brush you'll need for the way you paint. So there's a lot of different type of brushes, out in the market. There's been companies that have been out for over 100 years, like Winsor & Newton, that they make the Series 7, very expensive brush, watercolor brush. That I think I have one in here. Let me show you. It's considered to be one of the best watercolor brushes in the market. Very expensive. One can run you like $200 depending the size. This is the Winsor & Newton Series 7. Let me see. These are my watercolor brushes. There's different types. And we have some over here. Let me see what we have here. You see, something like this can cost you $139, a watercolor brush like that. So, when we're spending money like this, you really want to make sure you do your homework before you purchase something. This is a Da Vinci. You see the way the paint is chipping off here? I'm going to get back to that, why that happens. And this brush here was probably $120 or $80. And it's a problem. It'll start from there, and when you know it, all the paint will come off. A lot of times that has to do when they paint them. When the drying process, they'll get an air spot between the stick and the paint on the very tip, like this is happening right here. That's a major problem that brushes get. If they're not made correct, they're not made right. A brush this is a book that you can also purchase and get familiar with brushes, different types, different names, how they're made, and this is right here. You can go out and purchase it. Very good. Everything you need to know about brushes, everything. And how to clean them, proper way of taking care of them, everything. So, okay. This is a brush that I purchased. A lot of portrait artists. I don't know who it started with, but it was like, everywhere I went, I just kept seeing this brush. I saw a video where Richard Shems, a painter, a very well-known painter, was using the 5590, which is this one right here. And it's by Royal. It's Lens Nickel. That's the name of it. And Lens Nickel. And they're made out of mongoose. And soon as I saw him that he was using them, and I looked up to him, I went out and made a purchase and purchased them. And because a lot of artists be using them. But after I purchased them, I realized I bought this one here, 5510, and all the hairs just came right out. Just came right out. Came right out. I have more of them over there. Then I bought the 5590. And you know, I know that you're gonna get hair on your painting, but not the way this thing was leaving here. I mean, it was shedding more hair than my damn dog. You know, I was fishing for hair like crazy. I mean, it becomes a pain after a while. You know, coming and taking all that hair out. And then to top it off, the stick broke after a while. The wood, I guess, is very dried. I don't know, like rot. I don't know. It's like very, with no amount of pressure, it just snapped on me. I've never had that happen to me before. Another thing, then you'll see videos where they tell you on YouTube that it's a good brush, but they recommend that you take a pair of pliers and do this. Okay, why would you want to do that? I mean, buy a brush. You shouldn't have these type of issues, especially when you spend money. I mean, so then this one, half of the hair came out. You see? So I was really disappointed with this company when this happened. I was really disappointed. So I got in contact with this other company, Rosemary, and I explained to her what happened, and she was very kind enough to send me some brushes and to try out her brushes, and we spoke, and I didn't want to just make a video. I wanted to try them out, see how they were and how they performed, dipping them in turp and cleaning them and painting with them every day, and you know, that way I can be fair, and I can be fair to you guys and tell you what's going on, because I'm not going to endorse a product if you know, people are having these type of issues. I mean, it's so anyway, I got the brushes, and oh wow, I was loving them. I mean, the way they paint, the way they picked up the paint, the snap, everything about them, the quality, the workmanship, no air bubbles on the very tip, you know, very paint quality, great. The name, the embossing of the company, it's engraved, it's not going to come off after a while. The ferrule done in nickel, the quality of the hairs, the quality of the synthetic hairs, the different type of brushes, everything. So I was really impressed. I was very impressed. And I have used all type of companies. I've used all type of brushes from all type of different companies. Some good, some bad. You know, I have brushes all over. I have shitty ones over there that I do for my nieces, but you know, for my kids when they come around, I'm not gonna give them my Rosemary. I'm sorry, but they were so good that I started really even taking care of them more. I mean, they were like special to me. I mean, these were like my babies. I took my time cleaning them. They performed so good when I painted with them. I mean, I take care of all my brushes, but I really got really close to these. And that happens when, you know, when you get close to something that it performs the way you want it to perform, and you love them. So that's what happened, and these are them. These are the Ivory Long Flats by Rosemary. These are synthetic. Adorable brush. Man, these things are like a workhorse. Then you have your Bristol flat, you know. Man, that's like, oh man, great brush. Then that flat is if you want to match it, that's the Rosemary Series 2025. Okay, that's the Rosemary 2025. Then you have this one here. It's like some space age material here. The handle here, it's all done in flat. It feels very good in the hand. It's got a gold tone in the bottom. It's a filbert, nice size, not too short, not too long. I read that she really puts a lot of hairs. I mean, she puts, it's not like some people, they'll put a little bit of hair in the ferrule. No, I heard that she really goes an extra mile when it's like putting the hairs in there. She really puts a little much more longer than other brushes. I think I read that somewhere. As a matter of fact, let me see if there's one that's another company. How was it that I read it? In other words, what I mean here, this brush here is supposed to be longer and bigger, and this one, the Rosemary, is smaller, but it's almost about the same, you know. So yeah, the brush is really well made. This is the Ivory. That's another brush. You want to get the 2025 series, the flat. You want to get the Ivory, Filbert, Rosemary, Filbert. Oh, the Ivory. That's another thing. The Ivory, the brushes Ivory, they're beautiful. You gotta have those. Every artist, they should have a couple of these in their painting equipment. You should have a couple of Rosemaries. It's a must. You want a good brush? This is the type of brush that if I'm going to go to Europe and if I'm going to fix my bag and I was going to have to pick what I'm going to take with me to go paint, I know what I'm going to take. I know I'm going to wrap up all my Rosemaries. They're coming with me. I'm taking them because I know I'm not going to go wrong. I'll take that and with my preferred paint, and this is what I'll grab before I grab anything else. Then I got these not too long ago. I purchased them. They go for like $800. They're by John Howard Sandens. I got the set. I didn't pay the $800. I got it cheaper. I got the auction. But I'm liking them. I'm enjoying them. They're made out of sable. They're very well made. The quality. It's a very nice brush. And I'm really liking them. So I don't know why Rosemary doesn't do something like this. Make a set like this. Just like this. But from her. A landscape set and a portrait set. Something like this. Just like this. Because she makes such beautiful brushes. Anyway, let me show you the brush that everybody's buying from over here, the Lens Nickel. Let me show you the ones that she has. It's better because they don't shed. They don't have the problems those have. So if you're looking for something, if you want to copy what these guys have and paint like them, you see the way, look at the way these hairs are. Are they shedding hair right now? Anyway, that's, it's a mess. Now, she has, it's called the Master Choice, and it's the Series 279. So, if you want to get anything that's similar to that, you can get these. And then she has them in filbert. Wow, the filberts are looking so beautiful. Wow, they're beautiful. Wow, I'm loving those brushes. And a couple of these, man, you're good. Look at the These are the ivories. You see, they're designed for figurative painting and all that. They're designed for that. You see? They're designed for that. They're beautiful. These ivories, oh man, I'm loving them. That's them right here. And like I told you, the embossing it's in there in the wood. It's not anything that's been painted on. You have no air bubble where the paint is going to come off like those brushes that have that air bubble up there. That when you put them down, they get that air bubble when you put them in the can. And they crack right there because of that little space between the wood and the paint. So when you sit them in the can and you put them like this, they'll break. Another thing I recommend, I recommend cutting a piece of cardboard, around cardboard. If you're going to place your brushes on any container, put the container on top of the cardboard, cut yourself a round piece and put it in there. That way when you sit your brushes, they'll last longer. Okay, so these are the ivories, and they're absolutely beautiful. Look at these rounds. I gotta get me some rounds. I do need some rounds. You see, look at these. These are great. These are, well, the series 2085. Look at those. Those delicate long touches. You know, you need a brush that you just, great brush. Look at them here. She listens to her artist friends. She listens to people, and she really takes the time to, and then she shows you the process of how they work. They do it the same way. Everything is done by hand. That's the best way. So these brushes are not being made by no machine. Everything is done by hand. So you're not going to get anything better than that. Look at them over here. So and she has a little setup where little things that you can purchase to take care of your brushes, where to contain them and stuff like that. Wow, she even has that little thing to put them away. This is nice. I'm liking this here. I wonder if that's leather. Beautiful accessories, handmade in England. Wow, the finest Italian leather. Whoop. That's a little, where you put your brushes, a tote, like the one that I have over here. This right here. Well, that's the same thing over there, but in leather. So look at that. She even has the tote where she can do that. I haven't seen a set, so I don't, I've been through this book and I haven't seen a set. I haven't seen a set. A landscape set. A portrait set. Like that set there. I like that setup. And it's nice because you take all the guesswork out of trying to, like, what do I need, what size should I get, and, all the guesswork is out, you can get a couple of sets, some with maybe 4 brushes, some with 10 brushes, like that, make it affordable. But, yeah, this is the company I suggest. Get yourself a couple of brushes, try them out. Highly recommend this company. And get familiar, get yourself a good book on brushes. When you see brushes and you see them like this type of metal here, you can see them in the dollar store. You gotta be real careful what you purchase, A lot of these companies, they start out with stuff like this, material like this, then they'll put a coat of nickel on it, and then after a while you have garbage. Or the glues that they use to glue these, to when they're making them, they loosen up, the paint starts tripping off, so a lot of problems. But then you have like all type of different companies, like I told you. You see, this is Utrex Kaninsky. This is also a Filbert and Sable. So, there's different type of companies out there, but I'm always open to all companies, different companies. I like to have all type of brushes from all different companies, but good ones. I don't like having garbage. Sometimes there's brushes that are very inexpensive, but they're made good. Also, be careful when you're cleaning them. Certain paint thinner, terp to clean your brushes, ruin your brushes, make the hairs curl on the very tip. So certain terps ruin your brushes. You got to be very careful. And also, like when you're cleaning them, don't leave them too long in the water. The bristles expand. That also ruins your brushes. Make sure you clean them. Don't be rough with them. Be very delicate with them. Don't pull on the hairs. When you rinse them out in the water, make sure it's under cold water. You use hot water, it's gonna soften the glue, and you're gonna start having them shedding. That problem where the hairs are gonna start coming off. So, stuff like that. Every time you use them, clean them. Be very gentle, and I use my hand. I prefer the hand because it's the best way, and it's the best way where you're gonna get them the cleanest. And get yourself a good cleaner. Get yourself a good cleaner, and if you have any issues with your brushes, get yourself a restorer. Winsor & Newton has one that does pretty good. I forgot which one it is. I don't know if they have a couple, but the one I saw does pretty good. And and get yourself a good cleaner to take care of them. Have a rag just for them to wipe them down when you're done with them. Have your soap. Have your little bath container. I don't recommend this round one. Get the square one. The reason I don't like the round one is because it has this little area here that when you're sitting it in, when you put it down here in this part, you see, it bends the hair. So if you leave it there, you see the way the curve of this, it bends it. So if you leave it there, it's going to ruin it. You see, over here you could probably leave it. That won't happen. Here, no problem. So I recommend, if you're going to get this, get the square one. And if you use it, just be very delicate. You don't have to go so hard with it, And then when you're putting them in the terp, where you're cleaning them in the side of this container, just go like this a couple of times. And that will squeeze all the paint out of it. Then you clean them. I usually, when I shape them, I put them in my mouth. I don't tell you to do that, but that's how I shape them. And give them a good shake. I shape them back with my mouth. And I let them dry flat. That's it. Alright guys, so try her brushes, and I highly recommend them. And bye for now.